Uh. Gotta check if the audio's working. Man, check if the audio's that buzz is terrible. That buzz is absolutely god-awful. I need to get new XLR cables. I'll prioritize that at some point soon. See if that helps. I don't think that helped. I think that just kept it the way it is. I'll see about that though. I think that helped. I think that just kept it the way it is. Whatever. You know, it's got a low hum for this recording. I'll see about getting some new XLR cables very soon. That's what I'll do. I'm gonna quickly blast this out to some folks. Then we can get this going. Hello to those of you who are already here for some reason and hearing me making fucking noises. Holy shit. Somebody who responded to one of my colleagues' tweets said, "You're all pretty pathetic. Here's the correct answer. I'm an anarchist. If you touch my kid, we don't need the government to come fix this. I'm gonna..." Yeah, but that's not discongruous with what we said. We said that we don't need a government to handle pedos. We don't. So he's dumb and he just couldn't read between the lines. Fucking moron. Anyway. Alright. It's already off to a beautiful start here. Hello, Valor. Hello to the two people who are here already, hearing me babble incoherently. To those of you who are new here, I have a weekly stream where I go over the comments left on my videos and also talk directly to the chat. And I'm sharing the link right now on my Twitter, which is pretty much the only place I actually share it, because the other networks don't seem to give a shit, and I'm not going to waste my time. At least about this, you know, like, I can post a link about something else and they'll be there, but like, posting live right now to talk to y'all. Go. Hello to everyone here who I have not talked to yet. I'm gonna do this on Signal. I'm going to do this in a place where I promised. And then, I'm good. So, I hope y'all are well. I only have one concurrent viewer right now, though, so I'm assuming that most people have not shown up yet. Normally there's like 4 or 5, so we'll see how this one goes. Here, in my server, tag about 50 people. One of them will probably leave, so goodbye in advance. Alright, then I'm gonna share this with my phone on Twitter since it's faster, so. Hello to y'all. Hope you had a good week overall. Currently sharing this stream with some folks. That. I think that was all I needed to do. I'll shoot one here for reasons. Cool. So, while people pile in, I will get started on some of the comments. I'm assuming this is going to be short with the amount of people not in the chat yet. So, hello to those of you who did show up. Also, YouTube has a new feature I'm going to try out if I do get like 10 plus viewers. Or maybe less. I haven't decided yet. Sound off in the chat if you're here. And I'm going to now move on to YouTube Studio and check that out. We got comments this week, and I also got some comments on Odyssey, so I'll be checking those as well. And if y'all want to support me, there are a variety of ways in the description. And yeah. Also, there will be a video, like, pretty immediately after this either way. So, either way, you're getting at least, like, I think the other one was, like, 18 minutes of content after this. So, so we've got Valor with some Chinese takeout and Troll the Purpose with a burrito. I have sandwich. It's 24 grains and seeds. So I'm pretty happy with that. Hello, Can't Lana to you. Is there something you want to bring up? Anything y'all want to bring up? Put it in the chat, and we can talk about it. First comment. Man. A lot more comments than I thought that would be, actually. Troll the Purpose says we need... Oh, well. So this is... I haven't responded. That must be why. Alright, well, I'll do the ones from this week first. Make sure to do that. So that one was from the other one. And then Jay on Splat. I'm not exactly sure what that is from Valor, but here's a thumb. And a heart. Cold Highway. When they couldn't do a CBDC in my country, Vlog 147. When governments started attacking cryptocurrency, it was a huge red flag that they wanted to get in on the game, but just not in the game to be the only game. Oh, okay. I think you meant some commas there. That would have made that make more sense. But I know what you mean. Yeah, 100%. And like, I wrote this piece for AgoristNexus called "The Dollar is Killing the Planet," and that's exactly what it's fucking about. It's about the fact that if they actually gave a shit about the environment, they wouldn't be opposing cryptocurrency. They would be opposing the dollar. Because the dollar is like so much worse for the planet than any cryptocurrency, and is inherently like bad for the environment because of the petrodollar aspect. And the U.S. government is literally getting in on the cryptocurrency game. They're building CBDC. So if you want to care about the environment, then you should do that. But really, these people, like, protest the government. But really, these people don't want that. They just didn't like libertarians or the people who use cryptocurrency. So they wanted to stop those people. It was more of a political thing than it was a philosophical thing or anything of the sort. That's what it was. And the U.S. government loved that shit. They loved it when people were saying, "Oh no, is that Bitcoin? Do you have a Bitcoin address in your fucking wallet? I'm superior to you." They liked that because What that let them do is create an adversarial relationship between the people and the people, while they did something worse and got away with it. Like, they're not going to regulate away their own CBDC, even though it's going to be just as bad, if not worse, for the environment. They're going to keep their CBDC and say all these others are regulated because ours complies by default. That's what they're going to do. So, thumb and a heart on that one. Joe Rogan admits he lied about furries. I was right, vlog 148. Can you link the video you mentioned about your discussion with Pedro Moreta from vlog 142 about the Fido Alliance? You never posted that in the description. I'm interested in listening to that. Yeah. One moment. I can do that. Thumb and a heart. I think I don't you know, I don't think one of my here tags actually even linked properly. That's hilarious. Alright, well. That wasn't today, so I'm not too upset. I think this is it. Probably. If it's not, then feel free to tell me. But I'm pretty sure this is it. If not, okay. Valor put a horse on Joe Rogan, admits he lied about furries. I'm not exactly sure why. That seems more like a vouch than a Valor. But, thumb and a heart anyway, because I'm sure it was for engagement. Mr. Knight, on Ukraine is on the ballot, not democracy. Vlog 149. Says, reminds me of the Russian collusion in 2016. I heard it was just 4chan posters being 4chan posters while using VPNs set in Russia. Yeah, that would not fucking surprise me. You got... So, alright, Mr. Knight, I'm curious. I'm curious. Do you have a link to this? Because that... on brand. If you're in chat right now, if you're listening, sound off in chat and let me know what you want to talk about, because I'm running out of comments quick. He also said, on disinformation is now a crime. I've mentioned this a few times, but TIK, not sure what you mean by TIK, have said more than a few times that history lies in the debate. The states know that. That's why they change history in real time. Yeah. Yeah. For real. Like, if they can just isolate what you're allowed to talk about, then they can control everything. And it doesn't even matter what it is. If they can just say no and you have to say yes, sir, then they control everything. On the same video, Democrats having a Goebbels moment. Yep, yeah, essentially. Thumb and a heart on that. Cool thumbnail from Valor on the same video. Thumb and a heart on that. Psycho Faya says, they're coming after our rights. Look at what they're doing to A. Jones. Yeah, they are. More like David Icke, though. I don't think Alex Jones is banned in the EU and Australia as a terrorist threat. On on the SEC is attacking free speech and LBRY is burning. Vlog 151. Harrison Wells says, yet another banger. Well done, Jeremiah. Thumb and a heart. Thank you. Troll says, well, they're folding too. Folding what? Like LBRY or the SEC? I'm not exactly sure what you were saying, Troll. Let me know. And I guess we're moving on to Odyssey. This is moving quick today. If there's something y'all want to talk about in the chat, let me know. Because this lasts as long as y'all do. Okay, so we got one comment from Finian. He says, 70 F-16s for $1.6 billion. The U.S. is selling their old trash on the cheap. Yeah. So, that's the other part. Now, before I get started on that, I wanted to bring up
fucking
BRUSHFIRE
playing.
2048.
I clicked the video.
So, they can sell their old stuff that they're not even using. Like, their surplus stuff. That's why they, like, gave a bunch of, like, Toyotas, for instance, to the Mujahideen. Because they had them, you know? And so they can get rid of a bunch of old stuff so that they can justify buying a bunch of new stuff for them. It's a massive military-industrial thing. He says, I wonder if they are the D-series with cracked wings. I'd rather have MiGs. Sarcasm. Yeah, maybe. But also, like, the thing is that even if they were, these things would still sell extremely well. And even if they didn't sell, like, extremely well to these people could buy them on the cheap and then resell them. Because that's what a lot of this, you know, Ukrainian stuff is. It's just like, yeah, we got weapons and now we're going to resell them. We're going to make a massive amount of money. We're going to be military contractors and warmongers and make a massive amount of fucking money. So, I mean, it might be that they would rather have MiGs too. Have you seen all those drone videos of the M177 artillery systems being blown up by the Russians? I haven't. What a racket that is. They send them over there and they just get blown up with 20k Dorito chips. Nom nom, the MIC is hungry. Yeah, basically. Speaking of hungry, I almost ate a hair there. So that's there. I think that's the last comment. Flame and a heart. So if y'all want to discuss something, then the chat is open. But the chat is only going to be open so long as I have things to discuss. So feel free to throw things at me to discuss. Also, goal this week is to get a better mic cable so that you don't hear this buzzing. So that should be dealt with by next time. I don't see any reason it wouldn't be. Yep, no comments in my server for this. No comments in chat. Feel free to let me know if you want to discuss something before I hang up. Relatively short one today, I guess. Which is fine. I'm getting a lot of stuff done later today anyway. Also, good news. We got Lily Forrester on at AgoristNexus. She's going to be one of the people on the podcast now. And she's also going to be managing the newsletter. So you'll be able to hear more from her soon. Valor says, yeah. I'm assuming you have something you wanted to talk about? I can hold on for a second while you're typing. Also, actually, I'm going to test this. Oh. Okay, so I guess there's more. You know, I need to enable live chat by default somehow. Oh, okay. So, how fake Twitter account crashed insulin stocks. Okay. So, yeah. There was this account that called themselves real, bought Twitter Blue, and then changed their name to this insulin company, and said we're giving it away for free. And the screenshot floated around, and a bunch of investors tanked stocks in one afternoon. In one afternoon, their stocks absolutely tanked. Lily Eli, yeah. I mean, I don't care though, because insulin is overpriced anyway, so they couldn't have picked a better target for the troll. Those people have made a significant amount of profit making a product that should be open source at this point and isn't because of people like them. So fuck those guys. But it is evidence that I was right about the flaws of this verification system. So, you know, chalk another one up to the win column. Yeah, he can't says there are so there's the problem with chat is that there's a live chat and that there's a top chat. And so some of the comments will show up and I need to and some won't, and I need to enable live chat in order to see the ones that YouTube wants me to see. So that's the reason I didn't see those comments earlier. I need to find a way to enable live chat by default on YouTube, because that's bullshit. Valor says, in one of your thumbnails it looked like a fucking Among Us. I don't know what you're talking about. But, I mean, I know what Among Us is, obviously, but, which thumbnail? I am curious. Anyway, yeah, Twitter verification thing, the new one, is entirely just, it's basically Twitter's version of oligarchy. You know? It's bullshit. It's censorship and shadow banning, but now, if you don't want to be censored or shadow banned, you've got to pay money. So it's worse. Twitter's worse now for people like me. Okay. Valor says your latest one, the SEC is attacking free speech one, and can't guess that right, I guess. Yeah, well, and I made it that way because it's that's the Odyssey logo guy. Odyssey had that logo, as far as I know, before Among Us was even a game, so that should tell you everything you need to know there. Troll says, none that I know of have to click over to live every entry. Yeah, which is fucking stupid. I'll have to remember to do that, though, because the fact is that, multiple streams have gone by where people have been posting things in the chat that I just haven't responded to because I didn't fucking see them. So that's awesome. Anyway. Oh, I should also check and see if anybody's got anything for the original thing. Oh! And by the way, my poll on Twitter, for those of you who know about it, currently 24.8% of 817 votes, so basically 205 people, think that Matt Walsh is right when he says that 16-year-olds are adults and you should be able to fuck them as long as you're married and you can, they're 16. That's fine, according to Matt Walsh. Totally not a danger to children. Totally not an absolute fucking menace. Piece of shit. Because he's Matt Walsh. He's there to stop groomers, guys. Man, I hate him. I hate him and everybody like him. Valor says, I want to confront my mom about that shit. Yeah, Yeah, because I guarantee you, like, if she's a Matt Walsh person, she's fundamentally broken on certain political issues, and she will just support people like Matt Walsh, even when they say shit like this, even when they're objectively, like, supporting grooming. So, yeah, fucking garbage. Troll says Nevada agrees with parent approval. Yeah, but I don't care what Nevada wants. I don't care what Nevada wants. I don't care what any government approves of. I care what's ethical. And what's ethical is that 16-year-olds are children and can't consent. Ballard says, my guy, she constantly watches him 24/7. It scares me. Yeah. Yeah. I'm resisting so many urges to mock right now, but, like, basically, if you did want to confront her, just say, hey, 16-year-olds are children, and he says they're adults, and that the only problem with fucking and impregnating them is that they're not married. And that might change her tune, maybe, but probably not, because she's an acolyte of Matt Walsh, and Matt Walsh acolytes are some of the most disingenuous motherfuckers on the planet. Feel free to post things you want to talk about in chat. Eek texted me a short bit ago and said that he didn't want, he wanted to be here, but he couldn't because he was out dealing with some stuff. So, feel free to go to libertyprofessionals.com, though, guys. He's a sponsor of the content now. And if you're in Texas, and need consults, or if you want a remote consultation on how to improve your security, feel free. Also, BRUSHFIRE 2048. It's a novel sequel to a dystopian fiction book written by somebody who has already sponsored this content before, and is sponsoring it now again. Once I get a PDF, I'll be reading it. I'm going to get a review copy soon, and basically, when I read that, I'm going to post an entire review of it on my channel as part of the exchange next month for continued sponsorship. But if y'all got like a conspiracy theorist in your life, feel free to shoot them my book link so that they can buy it. Valor posts a bunch of emojis. I don't know what all those are supposed to mean, if anything, but there's certainly things there that exist now. I'm going to try something. Engage with your audience. Answer viewer questions live. Okay. I'm not sure what this does. Can y'all see something new in the chat? Oh, this might be a Q&A where I have to ask a question. So, opinions on the Sonic franchise. See viewer questions and choose which ones. Weird. Hello, Minty. Valor says, oh yeah, here's something that came to mind. One time my mom told me, and she still does tell me, that the government said aliens are real opinions. I think they would really like anybody to focus on absolutely anything other than their corruption. And I think UFOs and the whole, like, what is it? Exposure, thing. I think that all that stuff is designed to keep people distracted. I think that's the reason that the Rockefellers are pushing it. I think that's the reason so many celebrities are pushing it. I think that It's a way to keep people focused on the skies rather than what's happening right here. And what happens right here fucking matters more. That's my opinion. What if the government themselves are aliens? Well, I mean, then David Icke would be right. His whole, like, part of his thing is that part of the reason everything is so evil is because of a secret inner circle of reptilian Kabbalists. So. Let me get some water here. Oh, actually, I have fucking tea. Where's my tea? That's what I need to know. It's right here. Cool. So I made tea before this, and I actually meant to pour it earlier while it was still a little warmer, but whatever. I also accidentally ripped the bag, so I just poured the leaves in loose. Got loose leaf tea in my fucking drink here. Ah. Kant says, I think the Q&A thing is the thing where you set the, and then people can send questions regarding the topic. That's a possibility. Let me go check. Valor says he likes the art from the franchise. Some of the people make me gag. That's reasonable. Live chat. Minty says, it was snowing outside for like half an hour and then it all melted. Ah, that's unfortunate. We still got some snow from like a week ago, but it hasn't started snowing again, unfortunately. So. Valor says tea is greater than water. I disagree, but I do really like this fucking tea. This particular tea is the official partner tea of Sonic the Hedgehog. It is Ito-En brand. I'm not sponsored, but I would fucking take a sponsorship. Ito-En. If Ito-En just like sent me some money and some fucking, you know, like matcha ginger green tea stuff, that's what I prefer from their brand. And like the bags, not the drinks. The drinks are not my thing. But like their bags are fucking great. I dropped a hair in my glass though. I wasn't them. Alright. I think we have somebody interested, potentially, in joining the chat. But he hasn't shown up according to the numbers. So unless YouTube is lying to me, like they sometimes do. Minty said, it was really insane discovering that Nazi Germany invented Fanta. Oh yeah, from my recent video? Did you watch that, or is that what you're talking about? I don't know. But yeah, it's it's one of those things where when you say it, you sound like a tinfoiler to people who have no knowledge of history. And to the people who do and don't know that yet, that it's like, yeah, that makes sense, but it's also fucking terrible. Valor's like, wow, yeah, okay, so Valor, I made a video on this recently. You can watch it. Fanta is Nazi Coke. And I made a bunch of people pissed off because, like, essentially it was a meme. The whole thing was like, oh, if you're at the cookout and you reach in the cooler and there's only Sunkissed and Fanta, which do you choose? I said, well, Sunkissed, because Fanta is Nazi Coke. And a bunch of people got like, oh, you're taking it too seriously. Valor says that makes sense of the title. Yeah, well, because it's fantasy. The whole point is that it was supposed to be so good it was like fantasy. Ja, wohl. Das ist mein Fantasy. Get it? So... Now that so many people have check marks, it's weird to see them in my replies. Kant says it's all poison anyway with all the corn syrup. Yeah, and it always was. Even when it was beet sugar, which was what it was originally. It was originally not orange. It was originally just a brown drink of beet sugar, primarily. Valor also says, I've never been out in the snow in person, you're lucky. I go, during this time of year where I am, it snows frequently, generally. And I go for regular runs in the snow because it's much more difficult to remain stable, and it makes the run more challenging. Minty says, wait, when Elon said he's unbanning suspended accounts, did that mean zoophile accounts also? I mean, probably some of them will be. I haven't seen any evidence that that has happened, but it's definitely potential that it will. And, of course, my account, Weekly Hellscape, is still suspended as far as I know. Let me Hellscape. See. Yep. And I didn't get an email about why it was suspended either. So, that's fun. Valor says, I used to love soda until my family kept telling me it rots your teeth. It can. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, anybody else have something they want to bring up in chat? Valor says, Elon with Twitter be like, comedy is now legal on Twitter, unless it's impersonating me. You know, though, to be fair, that was against the terms of service, and I've had people impersonate me and fool people. So, I don't care. And also, some of the people that were doing that were authentically terrible. Like, for instance... Ethan Klein recently doxed the wrong person, and he shouldn't have been doxing this person anyway. You know, because he didn't know that this was the right person, and you shouldn't encourage this sort of thing when you have that giant audience. You know, he doxed somebody who wasn't the target of his dox, and that person immediately suffered an absolute deluge of insults and abuse. And the another one who got suspended for doing that was Kathy fucking Griffin, who literally, I don't know if y'all remember the Covington Catholic kids who had like MAGA hats on, and they were all standing in like around this poor innocent Native American. Well, turns out Nathan walked up to those kids and started beating a drum in one of their faces, and he just sat there and smiled. That's all he fucking did. And people took the one clip out of context of the kid just smiling while this guy was beating a drum in their face, and immediately took the Native American's side and said, oh no, this is terrible. Oh, it's such a... I'm gonna wax righteously indignant. But it was fucking pointless because... you know, he walked up to these people. He saw them as a group with their MAGA hats on, and he chose to walk right into the middle of them and then start beating his drum and singing. And I'm not saying it's wrong, just to be clear, to beat a drum or to sing. I'm just saying that it wasn't the MAGA kid's fault. And what was wrong was he came on a bunch of fucking interviews with like the dim lighting and the Sarah McLachlan style fucking music and being like, oh, I was a pathetic victim. But he wasn't. He walked into the group, he stood there, he accepted the risk, and nothing happened to him. Oh no! But Kathy Griffin, one of the people recently suspended for impersonation, should have been suspended a lot fucking sooner. Because she literally tried to get these kids doxxed. And called for, like, she was like, I want names! They're fucking high school children. And Kathy Griffin helped destroy these high school children's lives for the moment. Like, she really wanted these kids to just be erased from the map. For a situation she didn't fucking understand. And didn't care about understanding. Because she's a dumb liberal celebrity with, you know, a dumb liberal celebrity audience. And by liberal, I mean, like, state capitalist. Like, she's totally fine with oppression of minorities as long as it happens to Middle Easterners bombed by her Democrat presidents. You know? Or kids in cages as long as it's Biden doing it. Or a border wall as long as it's Biden doing it. It's always Republicans. Kathy Griffin, everybody. You know? So she tried to fucking get kids doxxed. A bunch of children doxxed. And so many people just supported her. Yes, girl slayed her. And fuck Kathy Griffin. She should have been suspended fucking then. I was suspended for 1.5 years while she kept her account. And I was suspended for platform manipulation and spam. And she tried to get a bunch of kids doxxed and their lives ruined. And she kept her account. Fuck Kathy Griffin. I hope she stays gone. Why did Ethan try to dox someone? I'm out of the loop. So, what happened was, Amaranth got abused by her husband. And people didn't know that she had a husband, and people didn't know that she was being abused because she kept it hush, because part of the abuse was keep it hush, keep your mouth shut or else. And that's terrible. Shouldn't have happened. But Ethan got a name, found the wrong name, and doxed a fitness influencer. Because he's a piece of shit. That's why. He sucks so much. Ethan sucks so much. Ethan sucks so much. Trump gets banned from social media, and I don't fucking like Trump. He's a fascist piece of shit. But you know, Trump gets suspended from social media, all of them, for stuff that happened that he didn't even do off-platform. That other people than him did off-platform. Ethan directly calls for shooting up and bombing Republicans, and he's totally A-okay on Twitter, guys. And then, you know, he then fucking impersonates Elon Musk and gets suspended for that. He should have been suspended sooner too. If you're going to suspend people for this shit, universalize your standards. That's it. And if you don't want to get suspended, go to a blockchain. You know, Kathy Griffin and Ethan Klein. Join me on Bastion, motherfuckers. That's me throwing down the gauntlet. If you really hate censorship so much, then join a place that doesn't allow censorship, motherfuckers. But you don't want that because you don't want the deluge of potential negativity that's going to come your way when you're on a place that you can't control and your stupid fucking piece of shit audience can't help you police. Like, fuck both of you. Garbage human beings. Minty says, I used to be a fan of Ethan 2016 and 2017. Sad to see how far he's fallen. Yeah, well, he got fucking popular based on like a significantly distant little 5 minutes of fame. So, yeah, that. You know, like, our video is being suppressed, and we're also being threatened with lawsuits. Let's start up FUPA, a fucking, like, fair use protection, like, thing that basically nobody else benefited from. That was supposed to be a fund for everybody. You know, and let's name it FUPA after our dumb fucking, like, meme where we encourage obesity, basically. Because Ethan's whole thing is, I'm a slovenly loser, and you should accept me anyway. Like, how about instead of FUPA, you get FITPA? You know? How about you actually, like, improve yourself as a human being and stop skating on this bullshit, Ethan? And you too, Kathy. Why didn't you ever apologize for sending your audience after a bunch of kids? Fucking bitch. You know? You got suspended? Good. Fuck you. It's Kathy especially. Because she did it on Twitter. And then, like, Ethan's whole thing during the impersonation thing was, you know, oh, he bought it for $44 billion. That could have gone to hunger, etc. Why do billionaires billionaire? But he never said word one ever about Prince Al-Walid bin Talal Al Saud of the House of Saud. You know? He didn't talk about fucking Blackstone. He didn't talk about, you know, any of the people investing in Twitter before. He just talked about how, oh, it's so terrible, Elon Musk. And yeah, fuck Elon Musk, but also fuck anyone who's acting like billionaires owning this platform or billionaires owning social media platforms is new. Fucking vermin. Valor says, Triceratops children, OMG, yes. Queen Slay, yes. Yeah, basically. That's exactly what it is. Minty says, wasn't Kathy Griffin the woman who had a bloodied head model of Trump? Yeah. Imagine if she did that with Biden. Or Biden's press secretary. Imagine all the people who would come after her. Ether said, you said the stream was at 7. It said it was going to be at 7:30. And it was 7:30 Eastern. So, LOL. But, I sent you the message as soon as it started, so. Also going to check this question. See if anybody said anything. Nope. They've got to give you a little notification number on that. Like, I should be able to see by clicking the drop down how many people have answered that question. There's a new feature for those of you who are just tuning in where the stream like lets you ask your own audience questions and they can answer them in live chat form. So that's interesting. And I guess it's like a Q&A kind of thing. I don't know. Live chat. It's 5 Pacific. I said it was 7 Eastern. And it was 7:30 Eastern, by the way. Troll the Purpose says, and there's the stars and journos that went to Mastodon. Yeah, well, and that's not even decentralized. You know? I mean, it's federated, so it's better than Twitter. But you still have to have your own server if you want anything there. You know, like, if you're just on somebody else's instance, not only do they own your email and password, but they also, they can erase your data. It's still centralized. It's just a lot of small Twitters. So if you trust the person there, then, you know, that's fine. But, like, ultimately, the whole deal, like, I don't want somebody to have that level of control over my content. That's the whole reason to be decentralized. So, Minty says, funny how some Americans seem to care so much about human rights in China but completely turned a blind eye to Saudi war crimes. Yeah. Yemen? What, man? I've never heard of it. Fucking Khashoggi? Bless you. That's how a lot of Americans do be, though. For real, no cap. On God. Church. Ethervision says Sonic players really be paying $60 for a game they're supposed to finish as fast as possible. The thing about Sonic is that it's not about just going once, right? It's about doing it as fast as possible, as reliably as possible, and improving and honing your technique. That's what gives it replayability. And so it's less about how long the overall gameplay is, and it's more about how many times you're willing to replay the same level and try again to get like faster and faster and faster results. That's what I like about it, honestly. Like, as somebody who's ADHD, like, the fact that a level is fast and something that I can get done quickly, you know, and like get a lot of them done, that's very appealing. So Troll says, well, we jailbroke AIM from AOL login, and that ended in AOL shutting it down due to spammers. Yeah, well, and you know, with that in mind, Mastodon isn't exactly privacy forward, and their databases are only as secure as the people who make their databases. It's exactly like the WordPress install thing with Parler, you know? Parler had all these WordPress install like user accounts where all the geolocation data was still fucking on. And none of it was stripped like Twitter does. So basically, you could just like go into their account, scrape their data with the information that was on public display, and find out where they were. And the reason people knew about this is because they left their salts exposed. And because they left their salts exposed, there were hackers who literally did entire database scrapes. But that's not like the worst part of it. The fact that their stuff was already exposed was bad enough. But then you realize that the guy who started the place was a Secret Service guy, and that they used the data that was there to arrest a bunch of people. The FBI straight up arrested a bunch of people who were at the Capitol and shit. And people were like, oh, if Parler free speech, my free speech. Parler's not free speech. You know, A, they were censoring people already, and B, you can't be free speech if your speech is going to get you arrested immediately because people posted their salts. Fucking atrocious coding. And isn't Mastodon the dem version of Parler? No, that's tribal. The thing about Mastodon is that Mastodon is federated. So anyone can install a Mastodon instance and like invite people to their own personal social network, which can be great, but it can also be fucking cancer. You know, it can be awesome, but it can also be a little bit of fucking cancer. It can be fucking great. Cancer. Valor says, seashell seal. Not sure. Ether says, can we get much higher? I think you're referencing just songs, but okay. Kant says, do you have to pay for Mastodon? You have to pay for your own hosting, is what you have to pay for. So you pay to have it hosted, or you self-host it on your own server, and you run the instance yourself. Everything is hosted by you or a hosting provider that runs it. So basically, you like are most incentivized to get something with a reasonable CDN, so that you constantly have uptime and like unlimited bandwidth and storage, so that people can just like join and do that, or you just build your own server at your house and self-host everything. But it's basically that, like, you pay for what you have. Ethervision says, I'm more referencing the One Piece stuff that was all over Twitter last month. Ah, Yeah, I'm not. I watched a little bit of One Piece when I was really young, but I never watched it all, and I never read the animes or the mangas. I'm supposed to read them at some point, though. Like, I promised a friend of mine who's very into it that I would do that, but like, I just haven't had the time. Eric McLean says, "Gamers rise up." Hell yes. Down with the Kotaku. Anita Sarkeesian, more like Anita Sarkeesian. Got him. Minty says, "I was watching a video on disgusting musicians, and it boggles my mind that R. Kelly got away so easily all these years when it wasn't a secret that he was a creep." It doesn't boggle me. You know who you should be real concerned about is Andy Dick, because he has spent his entire life grabbing on people, potentially sexually assaulting them, and also exposing himself to them, some of whom were minors. So, Andy Dick is a menace. He sucks so much. And like Turkey Tom even recently put out a video on how degenerate that motherfucker is, and how basically the entirety of Hollywood was already saying don't. Ether says Sunny V2 made a video about Andy just yesterday. Yeah, I wonder if there's something about Andy Dick that's been floating. Okay. He says, never mind, Turkey Tom. Eric says, how do you feel about Mastodon versus Twitter at this time? Sorry, late to the show. Mastodon would be great if a whole lot of people joined. Hell, maybe I'll like start using my account again more because there's more people in the Fediverse. But at the same time, it's only good so long as people are fucking using it. So, I should really use my accounts though, because it is on the Fediverse now, and I do have much more like surface area potentially. Valor says, "Oh yeah, here's something. My mom told me we, as in the whole nation, only have a couple more days left of diesel fuel and heating fuel, along with an extreme shortage of food. Opinions?" All right. That is reserves. She's talking about the SPR, the Strategic Petroleum Reserves. And she's absolutely correct. So the thing is that the U.S. has SPR for domestic emergencies. And Biden has been selling it to other countries so that the SPR can go to soften the blow of Russian sanctions. And the fact that the U.S. absolutely didn't blow up the Nord Stream pipeline. They didn't do it. I'm not saying the U.S. blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. I'm not saying that the U.S. blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. I would never say the U.S. blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. Never. But it's because of that. It's because of a bunch of other sanctions, and it's a bunch of bullshit. That means that the U.S. isn't just drilling for their own oil or stopping sanctioning like the countries that they've essentially committed acts of war against. Like Ron Paul is right when he says sanctions are an act of war. They're basically saying we will use our military to enforce certain trade agreements, and etc., etc. It's very, very warlike. Ether says, if Twitter fails, I'm flocking to MySpace. Good luck with that. It's just a music site at this point, unfortunately. I had an edgy as fuck MySpace page when I was in high school. But it's gone now. Kent says, you gotta think of a better name than Fediverse, lol. See, but okay, so the reason it's called that, it's not Fed-verse, it's Fediverse. And it's the whole Federation. It's a federated app. I didn't make the name. Just saying. Like, it's one of the things, like there's GNU social, there's Mastodon, there's Gabs Federation. Federated just means that it's like a bunch of different networks that are all running the same framework and can talk to one another in a pseudo-decentralized way. Kant says I get it, but still. I'm explaining that for the people who don't. I'm assuming you understand. Ether says, Valor, just make more food and gas. Yeah, right? Well, you can gasify wood and paper waste. You can literally turn, like, carbon waste into wood, or into gas. There's a process for it. Like and then all you need to do is keep feeding it, and you can continue collecting various grades of fuel oil. There are plenty of tutorials on it online, so. Minty says, I recently lost my job due to it being shut down. What pissed me off is they told us one day before. They should have told us earlier. Yeah, they should have. Valor says, yeah, I've also been told that we are losing food because Biden says farms are causing global warming. Yeah, okay. So, okay. I went off on a soapbox about vegans on AgoristNexus recently. I think that was it. No, it was the Essential Libertarians with Earth Nerd Anarchist. I did a show with her. And basically, my beef with the whole environmental argument is that, like, oh, yeah, the meat industry is it takes so much water and it takes so much plants, and it's like, yeah, but like vegans only eat part of that plant to begin with, and the rest of it is waste grain that goes into cows. So it's not like the cows are eating the stuff that's perfectly good that you would eat anyway. They're eating stuff that you would never eat. Nobody's going to eat that stuff. And the fact that they eat the stuff people won't means that the crops that vegans eat are profitable enough that vegans can keep being vegan for relatively cheap. So vegans rely on the meat industry to affordably be vegan. And then they complain about farms. And Biden stirs that pot because part of the Great Reset is this green agenda where everybody's going to be put on carbon tax credits and shit like that, and a social credit system. So yeah, Biden's a piece of shit. Kant says, okay, yeah. Minty, evil how some people defend sanctions and say starving citizens is necessary to overthrow governments. Yeah, basically. Instead of just not participating in the global market of oppression, the U.S. continues the oppression under the name of human rights. It's fucking pathetic. Ether says, every time I eat meat, I eat twice as much so I can undo a vegan. Good for you. But hey, you gotta, so here's what you do to really make that count. Like, eat a lot of meat, and then 2 hours later, work out really hard. And then eat a bunch of meat about an hour later after that. Because then that protein is going to go directly into your muscles. Troll says, also non-arable grasslands. Yeah, basically. Eric McLean says, have you ever read the Sonic comics? I mean, yeah. I also constantly promote those. I'm not... Unless you're just asking that as part of the well-known sort of meme in my circles. In which case, yeah, I've read them. But also, everybody else should read the Sonic comics. Have you read the Sonic comics? Who here has read the Sonic comics? Let me tell you about our Lord and Savior Sonic. Do you have a few minutes to talk about our... Let me actually check the question over here, too. Yeah, the question doesn't have any activity. Live chat. Do I still post Sonic feet in my server, and if so, why? It depends on the circumstance, but I mean, I only posted those because it upset people. So if I want to upset people, then yes. Minty says, China oppresses Uyghurs. Human rights! Stop the CCP! Saudi crimes in Yemen. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. Yeah, basically. Valor says, reminds me of those people who will go to doors and are like, would you like to hear about a Lord? Yeah, but that's, yeah. I would actually let those people in when I had an apartment, though, because it was interesting to have conversations with them, and they didn't like my responses. Yeah, Valor, I would invite them in. I would say, sure, you can come in. I have a few minutes. And then I would ask them a bunch of questions and they would look sad. They were expecting to be able to just run the convo, and I don't think they were trained for somebody like me. Valor says, I'm not Christian, I'm a pagan also because my family are Christians and scare me. I used to be a Christian, and I respect Christians who aren't, like, evil about it. You know? There are a lot of Christians who don't follow the Bible with regards to how to discuss Christianity, so. Ether says, anything new on the server? I mean, there's more roles. There's, like, slightly more channels. Mostly it's the same, though. Like, and like, there's not very many new conversations, to put it that way. So. Minty says, what are your thoughts on the midterm elections? Those... Stick around after this. I'm posting a video about my thoughts on the midterm elections. So, that will be there. It's about 20 minutes long, and you can hear me yell. And then you can share my yelling, if you want. And you can also feel free to support the content. Anyone here can feel free to do that if they want. To hear more yelling on a more regular basis. It's like that thing with like Rick and Morty, like the court case trial. Yelling! I'm yelling! Yeah. Valor says, I have two best friends who are Orthodox Christians, and they're actually so nice. Catholic Christians, on the other hand. Yeah, basically. Ether says, hop on Fortnite sometime. I very well might. It's been a bit, though, for sure. I have 6 concurrent viewers according to YouTube, so if any of you want to say something you're not, feel free and we can talk about it. Minty says, Daily Wire made a video discussing the midterms, and no joke, Ben Shapiro said in the beginning that it was as bad as the dates he had. Yeah, not surprised. That... He's got that DAP, that dry ass pussy. Valor says, although I hate the bishops in the Greek Orthodox Church because of how they insulted my religion, the Greek ethnic religion Hellenism. Ah, gotcha. You know, you can talk more about that in my server, by the way. That's definitely an option. Concurrent viewers 6. Chat rate 2. Thoughts on the new Oreo cakesters? I have not had them. I don't normally eat that kind of food. Though, like, I've been going to this local bakery outlet because they've got a punch card system that means I could severely save on hot dog buns. So that's going to be something I'm going to be doing relatively soon. Valor says, I like ranting about it. It's good to get it off my chest. Well, feel free. Thoughts on the MCU? Parts of it are great. Parts of it not so much. It's certainly better than the DCCU, I guess you could call it. And also, like, the thing is that there are certain elements of it that I just refuse to watch. Like, oh, we're moving on from this epic, fucking awesome, badass plotline about, you know, world-ending shit, which is affiliated with dark tales of corruption and war, and then we've got Ant-Man. So I just refuse to watch Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man is fucking scam material. I like, from the MCU... the stuff I resonate with most is the Netflix shows. Like Punisher, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, you know, Daredevil, The Defenders. Great. But fucking Ant-Man? Fuck off. She-Hulk? Fuck off. Fuck off, you know? That's my take on the MCU. Saul is coming to MCU, by the way. That would be funny. Valor says, and for fuck's sake, we can't even do public worship without having to pay. Yeah, like there's security guards at the Parthenon, which is a place to worship Athena, and those of the Hellenic religion need to pay up or to worship there. It pisses me off. Yeah. So Ether Visions is saying no joke. I'm going to look this up. Oh, Bob Odenkirk. Okay. Well, that doesn't surprise me at all. He's a great actor. Let's see what role Bob Odenkirk is getting. Bob Odenkirk. MCU. That's, fucking, I don't care. Marvel Studios is eyeing to cast Bob Odenkirk in a key role in Wonder Man. Okay. So, Let's look up what Wonder Man is, because I'm not familiar with Wonder Man at all. Will make his live-action debut in an upcoming Disney Plus original series set in the MCU and portrayed by Yana Abdul-Mateen II. And, Bob. So there's nothing on the wiki about Bob Odenkirk. Wonder Man, Bob Odenkirk. Reportedly wants him in the roster, but it's not saying why. It's a secret role. Main villain. That's a theory, but it's not there yet. Well, I'll pay attention to that. Bob Odenkirk is great, so. He says Gus is already in it. Gotcha. Minty says, despite how totalitarian and oppressive the USSR was, they have some pretty catchy songs. LOL, yeah. Ether says he's going to be Saul, Secret Saul. That would be funny. Like, we find out that the real reason that that fucking Walter got away with it all those years is because he had secret, like, mind control technology, and he was preventing people from realizing that he was actually Heisenberg the whole time. Doctor Strange uncovers it, and he's like, we've got to stop this. This can change everything. Anybody have anything they want to say before we call it? Ether says, fun fact, Marvel wanted the Avengers to make a cameo in Breaking Bad, but Vinvi declined. Vince, I think you meant? That would be funny. Okay, it's about to start playing a video. I'm not gonna see more. MSN video. Alright, well, it's still just saying a secret role, so. Imagine if Walter joined the Avengers. Yeah, he could just, like, make them chemicals that would make them stronger or something. That would be funny. Anyway, though, two things. First off, I'm going to shill a link. And this link is to a way to support me for literally free and collect some cryptos off it. So it's pre-search, and what it is it's a whole lot of different types of searches with no tracking. And what that means is that you can search in private, and since it's on the blockchain and decentralized, it's not going to be controlled by a third party, so you can get more unfiltered results. And the more it gets used, the better it'll get. And basically, what this link will do is it will support AgoristNexus because we're now sponsored by these people. So, if you want to support what we do, there is a way to do that with this link. I'm going to pull it from my other video, so one moment. So if you use this link and sign up for free, it will support the Nexus. So you have to sign up and confirm your email. And then I think there might be a search minimum, but you get a bonus of pre-tokens for signing up. And the more of you who sign up, the better we do. What's the catch? Well, it's a blockchain. I mean, so it makes money by mining its own cryptocurrency. It's just like it's the same way Bitcoin makes money, is that you make money by mining Bitcoin. So you make money by searching, and every search is confirmed on the blockchain, meaning that pre-search makes money from people using pre-search. And you don't get tracked. So like you could search up, for instance, don't search how to make meth on pre-search. Don't search how to make meth on pre-search. Even if you're Walter White or Saul Goodman or Jesse Pinkman or Skylar, don't search how to make meth on pre-search. It would be bad. I'm going to just pretend I know what mining is. So, okay. The blockchain is a decentralized network of computers all confirming the same transactions in order to make sure that those transactions happened. Instead of having a central entity confirm it like a bank, and trusting that that bank isn't cooking the books or something, or trusting that a third party has, like, totally unfalsified books as well, this has everything verified on a decentralized network of computers. And those computers are all doing the equations necessary to verify those transactions. And every transaction has an input and an output. And that output, like a chunk of it, goes to the person who mines it. That's the mining reward. So basically, you make money on a blockchain by allowing your computer to do work for people. That's it. That's what that is. I don't know if that explains it. But basically, your computer is helping the financial system run. And it gets paid a small amount of money for doing that. And pre-search makes money from people buying pre-tokens, and it also makes money from people confirming things on the network. That's how all blockchains work. But this one confirms things on their network in the form of searches, which are connected to blockchain transactions. So everything is recorded on the blockchain, and the blockchain is constantly creating new data to create new ways to help people search. And so it's a constantly self-referencing, self-feeding machine of data that's paying people to maintain records of what that data was. So I don't know if that helps. But it's basically just like cryptocurrency Google. So you can sign up for free if you're interested. Also, if you get a product or something that you want to advertise, like you've got a service or whatever, the pre-token can be used to be spent on advertising through keyword staking, where you can like get your results pushed to the top by giving them a certain amount of this stuff. So Minty says, aren't people against crypto because it's bad for the environment, even though fiat money does the same thing? Yeah, and it's worse because fiat money is the petrodollar. And because fiat money is connected to the current banking system, which loans out a huge amount of money to the least green industries. So the dollar is propping up the anti-green economy, and they're like, oh, cryptocurrency, Last question, is the Luna emote still in the server? Yep. Yeah, I don't think I'll be getting rid of that because I like it too. Valor says, whenever I see the word Luna, I remember that one person who was extremely obsessed with Luna from Hell of a Bus. Yeah, that person might be closer than you think. Ether says, fiat money MFs after I pay for something in bottle caps. Yeah! What now, motherfucker? It's Fallout. It's Fallout, bitch! You gonna take my Nuka caps? Anyway. So, yeah. With that being said, if nobody else has anything to say, then feel free to support this content. Feel free to share this content. And there's a new video that will be coming out this evening as well. And there's going to be at least one video a day for the rest of the week. No gaps this time, because there's been gaps recently, so. Realizing that you've been talking to him this whole time. LOL. Next stream when? Earth Nerd, you are like coming in near the end. I don't know if you've been listening this whole time, but you are coming in near the end. I actually plugged our stream we had earlier. If there's something you want me to bring up, though, feel free. Because you weren't here earlier, so you couldn't do that. Minty, it is him. Yeah. I can say... hey, let me know if it's okay if I send him an invite to your server. Ether says this is like when Hank finally realized he's been talking to Heisenberg. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Hank is a member of a rival gang. That's all the cops are. I should do a video just really, like, fucking hammering it down. That Breaking Bad is not a story of some terrible person who's an outlier. It's a story of two rival gangs fighting each other, and the government is a gang. Because here's one spoiler that I think typifies the whole fucking thing. Two. So, Hank has Schraderbrow. He literally makes drugs in his garage. But those drugs are legal drugs. Those drugs are okay drugs. It's okay when he manufactures drugs. And some of the drugs that are illegal, he had a fucking Cuban cigar that he busts out, and, has one with Walter, and Walter's just like, isn't this illegal? And he's like, yeah, but you gotta live a little. And it's like, Hank admitted in both of those instances that the only thing that separates him and Walter is perceived social legitimacy. And the whole black market in that show is fueled by a lack of that perceived legitimacy. It's not fucking real. Hank isn't better than Walter. He just, didn't have the body count. That's all. Crisscross Crew says, LOL, I'm late, LOL. I've got to get live chat pings, honestly. But, yeah. Also, though, I should have tagged Acolytes as well. Oh, fucking, whatever. Earth Nerd says, I jumped in about 10 minutes ago. I was decorating my living room, LOL. I went thrift shopping for my B-Day. Yeah, and a glad DOB to you from, a week ago? I think exactly a week ago. 8 days ago. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you're Chez. I recognize you. I think you've been in these streams before. Also, can we go 90 minutes? I mean, at this rate, we'll be going 90 minutes at least, because I talk until the chat stops giving me things to talk about, so. It's ultimately up to people how long these go. I mean, I'm not going to go for, 8 hours, unless people are willing to actually pay me to stick around, but, it's going to still go for a bit, because I've got things to respond to, and that's the whole point of these. Hey, can I get an invite to yours? Yeah, one moment. Also, I'm going to check something real quick. Shoot me a link to your channel. I think I might be able to verify manually that you're who you said you were, because that was the only hang up I had about re-inviting you. This is the account that you've had for a while, if I understand correctly, Minty. Oh, also, Ether, let me know if I can invite them to yours. Also, 3 gangs, the Salamancas. Yeah, well, so there were many gangs in that, but what I mean is that, like, the gangs in there, the police is just another one of those gangs. The feds are just another gang. It's just a gang. Earth Nerd says, I got pinged. I just hadn't been looking at my phone. Yeah, it was on the 4th. Yeah, Minty, do that in my Twitter DIMs. I enjoyed the stream a lot. I want to go more into what the circular economy could be, what it is, and how we can cut dependence on corporations. Yep. Yeah, basically. We do a little trolling. Well, you bombed a nursing home. Yeah. But worth it. Ether says, also, can we go on 90 minutes? I mean, sorry, 100 minutes. Yeah, probably. It depends on the frequency of chat messages here. Let me check my Twitter DMs. To Screbleb. Pleb. Mleb. Anarcho-pedophilia. Oh, yeah, I said, I posted this tweet that says, anarcho-pedophilia does not exist. Those who exploit children are no more ethical than those who exploit any other group, and they have no place in anarchist society. Anarchy doesn't mean we have to tolerate those who impose their will on those who cannot consent, and kids can't. Yeah. Like, it's just, yeah. Ether says malmp. Yeah, none of these things are designed to do anything. I just don't want people to show up for a given subject and then be disappointed. One moment. It's loading something for me. And if there's anything any of you want to chat about, let me know. I should do game streams. I might start doing that again at some point. I used to. I don't know why sometimes it has difficulty with that. Huh. I seem to remember being able to comment on your videos before, on your channel before. About, maybe? Links. Twitter. Did you make this account recently? Is that what that is? Oh, okay. Shrooms 88.99. This account doesn't exist. That, that's enough confirmation for me, I think. Joined May 6, 2020. Yeah, I think you're minty. I should have hit subscribe so that I could be absolutely sure. She recently lost her phone. That's the thing. Earth Nerd says, did you see that guy backtrack that I was talking about in the Twitter chat? Yeah. Ether says, instead of people just watching you in a chair, we can watch you talk whilst playing. Well, so these streams can't be that, because I have to be more focused and give really detailed answers. But I might start up on Twitch again at some point. My current goal is to like, I'm gonna spend as soon as possible like $70 on a decent camera that can actually capture this, because I have a green screen now that was purchased by one of my biggest supporters currently, and she bought this for me, but I can't use it yet because I don't have a good enough camera that isn't gonna put a bunch of snow on it and make it look distorted at the edges. But once I get a better camera, I can do green screens, and then that'll make the streams higher quality. Also, yeah, you can invite... Okay. P.S. Check in with me the next week if you stream. I'd like to give to you Fallout 4 since it's a great game. Up to you. He says Fallout 4 is greater than Fallout New Vegas. Huh. I've heard exactly the opposite from everyone else, so... She says, oh yeah, lol, the Twitter account in my About section is my old one. Yeah. I mean, theoretically, you could just, like, post any old link in the description, but that's good enough for me. And the speech patterns you use are close enough. So, let me throw some invites to the plaza. To interested parties. Valor. And who else wanted one? Valor, and Minty wanted one as well, so I'll send one her way. There you go. And then I'll shoot you one to mine, because the other people are already there. Minty. So, with that being said, it has been 90 minutes. It can be 100 if there are more subjects to discuss. Either way, though, plenty of things to do in the description, so feel free if you want. Look up the Brotherhood of Steel and see if you agree with their morals. I remember not agreeing with their morals, but it's been a really long time since I've played. I beat 3 and New Vegas. Those were the ones I beat. But, like, it's been way too long for me to remember a lot of that stuff. I think it's been, like, at least half a decade. So, which makes me feel old, but, you know, that was bound to happen. Ether says basically they hoard tech because nobody else can be trusted with it. Yeah, that's why I didn't like them. That's a good reminder, because they're not only technocrats, but they're also technocrat elitists, which, you know, all technocrats are vaguely elitist because they all believe that they should be able to decide how energy is used. But, you know, beyond that, fucking yeah. Kinda better of two evils stuff. Yeah, but then there's just not being evil. That's always an option. Like, you can just kill everybody in that game, so that might be a better option. If you're playing NV because the Enclave was much worse. Yeah. Minty says, do you agree that you shouldn't unfriend someone because of their political views unless they're really horrendous like Nazism? I don't unfriend people typically at all. Because I think that it's, you know, more amusing and more empowering when I just say the truth enough that they leave. That's my stance. I don't think it's immoral or anything, but I definitely try to avoid it on my own terms. Earth Nerd says, quasi-religious technocratic military order. Yeah. But yeah. this will be over relatively soon. I might get back to Twitch streaming. The reason I stopped is because I had an absolutely abysmal amount of viewers. So actually, what I'll say, I will do gaming pings in my server. And the moment I get 20 people interested in gaming pings, in like my gaming pings, I will start doing Twitch streams again. So, favorite non-Sonic game. I don't do favorites. Even in Sonic stuff, I like way too many games. Like there's the Silent Hill franchise, the Splinter Cell franchise, Oddworld, Psychonauts, fucking Thief, fucking Dishonored, Morrowind, fucking... Oh, man, there's so many good ones. And, like, there's so many good ones that are also newer, like, you know, or things that are just odd, like Superliminal. I like too many games. I can't really pick a favorite. Favorite one-off game, non-franchise. Again, I can't really do favorites, but... Let me think. What did I think of that Mario movie trailer? Well, I'm thinking of the non-franchise game. It looks boring to me. Like, the only interesting thing looks like Bowser. And, you know, I'm not going to watch a Mario movie out of principle. Will I ever get a haircut? Probably not. Earth Nerd says Deus Ex. Yeah, Deus Ex is excellent. Deus Ex is so fucking good. But, non-franchise. I'm having a hard time thinking about something that wasn't part of a series that I really liked better than everything else. He says, you from the verse vid on your channel looks very different. Yeah. Part of the thing is that I'm an unmedicated person with, like, you know, hormonal and metabolic conditions that basically mean that my bone structure is constantly changing. My fucking skin is changing all the time. My hair is changing all the time. And I'll probably, like, look like a completely different person in, like, 2 years than I do now. And also my voice gets a little bit deeper every month. Bugs under your skin. See, I'm scratching because I get, like, flakes. So, I've got fucking, like, weird skin flakes. Like, pseudo psoriasis kind of deal. Where, like, I can scrape off, like, actual chunks of skin. Peel off your skin. I'm unironically kind of doing that. Either way, though, there's a special place in my heart for Vex. Vex was a game that tried to do interesting things. It tried to do interesting things. Vex, you play as this weird little gnome-looking thing, elf, whatever, looking thing, and you've got, like, these talons, and you can climb shit, and you can attack shit. But mostly it's like a massive puzzle game where you're trying to figure out different environments and shit. It's that'll probably hold a special place in my heart, but, like, I can't put it above something like, you know, man, Alter Echo was an excellent game. Really fucking good. Fucking Vanquish is good. But it's also kind of, I don't know, that one's kind of one note. Oh, there's just so many interesting little things that were just one-shots. So, you know, too many for me to say a favorite, for sure. But, like, you know, there are a lot of good ones. I'll say that. I don't know if that's the answer you wanted. Earth Nerd says you look more grown than you did when we met. Yeah, probably. And I also have been working out, so I got the flex now. Like, not quite where I want to be, but getting there. Either way, lots of stuff coming. We are officially at 100 minutes. Read the Hasbin Hotel official comics before the archives disappear. Shoot me a link. Minty says, really disturbing how many people agree with Matt Walsh on your poll. Yeah. Fuck Matt Walsh and fuck all his defenders. 16-year-olds aren't adults. Kids can't consent. Pedophilic nonsense. Oh, they're married, so that... Child brides exist, motherfucker. It doesn't make them adults the fact that they can marry. And it doesn't make them adults the fact that, like, society condones X, Y, and Z. Fuck society. Fuck government. Anyway. So with that being said, keep an eye on my channel for more videos. There will be one before the end of the day. And as always, check out AgoristNexus for even more comments. Even more content. And leave comments on my videos, because the more comments you leave on my videos, the longer these streams can be. So, with that being said, be well all, smash the fucking state.